right, love story. It is a love story, and it's a very unusual one. When I was a freshman at Western Baptist Bible College in El Cerrito, the church in Vacaville, California sponsored my room. And so just after school started, I wanted to take up my roommates to the church and introduce them. After the evening service, then the pastor and his wife invited us over for lunch. As college students, we always like to eat. So we went over to the house, and as I walked into the house, I turned to the right, and on the fireplace was a picture. So I walked over and looked at that picture, and I said, "That's the girl I'm going to marry."
I was going to college in New York. I was dating somebody, and just a few days before I met him, I'd gotten a letter in the mail, and this guy said, "Oh, I was going by the jewelry store and I saw some beautiful rings," and I thought, oh my word, I liked boys and I liked dating, but I sure didn't want to get married. But just shortly after, my father, who was a pastor, said, "I'm going down to a conference in El Cerrito. Do you want to go with me for the day?" My mother said, "Oh, Shirlie, why don't you go? Maybe you'll meet so-and-so." Well, he wasn't the so-and-so.
You're blowing it again. As I was heading down back to school, my friend said, "There's a conference down by the school. We would like you to come because there's a girl down there that we would like you to see."
So I went to the conference all day, met a lot of girls, and I was talking to some of the girls in the evening after the conference was over. All of a sudden I saw my dad standing talking to this guy. So I walked over to my dad, and I'll never forget the first words. My dad said, "Jim, I'd like you to meet my daughter, Shirlie." And Jim said, "I'd like very much to meet your daughter." So we got home, walked in the front door, and my mother said, "Did you meet so-and-so?" I said, "No, but I met the guy I'm gonna marry." And my mother said, "Oh, and who is that?" So, a few days later, I went back to college in New York. So I thought, I'll write to that guy and ask him to send me a catalog, which was really very forward. So then I waited. Every day I'd go to my mailbox, and then one day here came a manila envelope. And inside was a catalog, only a catalog. And I thought, this boy's gonna need help.
But that wasn't really true. When she wrote me that letter, she said, "Would you send me a catalog from Western Baptist Bible College?" So I sent her one. So 3 days later, then I wrote to her.
We began to write back and forth. Mine are on different paper, different pens. His are all very specific, the same kind of envelope, the same brown fountain pen ink, because that's the kind of person he is. But then I was dating somebody else, and we were having a missions conference. And the last night of the missions conference, the guy I was with sort of was almost even mocking out people who were going forward. But the last night, I absolutely knew God wanted me to be a missionary. So I stepped by that young man and I went forward. And then I had a most unusual thought. From now on, I can never date anyone who's not going to be a missionary. So I thought, okay, this guy in California, I better write and tell him that I'm going to be a missionary. Then I said, I wanted to tell you that the last night I went forward at our missionary conference, and I'm going to be a missionary, and I'm interested in the land of Germany.
So we also had a missionary conference. And at the end of the missionary conference, the last night, the invitation was given for those who wanted to be a missionary, would they come forward? And I went forward that night. So I knew that what I wanted to be was a missionary, and if I was going to be involved in this girl's life, I had to let her know about it. I wrote and I said, I dedicate my life to the Lord and I want to be a missionary. And I feel that the Lord wants me to go to Germany.
So how about that? Our letters crossed in the mail. So I got his letter and read it, and I was dancing around the kitchen at my sister's house thinking, oh, I probably won't have to be an old maid after all. When God's ready, he'll do it. He'll bring you to the right place. He'll put your picture on the right mantle, whatever he has to do to get you together. And for us now, we just enjoy each other, and I can't ever imagine not being together. It's like we've been together forever and ever. And getting old is honestly a little bit scary because, you know, by the law of averages and just the way the physical body works, unless the Lord comes and takes us, one of us is gonna outlive the other, and it's just not something we can even fathom because we really are one. And we enjoy each other and we laugh a lot. And we hardly ever quarrel anymore. And we hardly ever. Yeah, life is really, really good, and we're really blessed because we have good health and a wonderful family. A wonderful